everybody, it's Tommy Jo from Bird Street Studio, and I'm back to do our topper for our Asian journal, and also I decided to make a couple pockets, fabric pockets. It's a little earlier than I normally film, so I've got kind of a shadow, a bright spot coming in the window right here. I think I blocked off this part. Anyways, I'll try not to work right here in the corner, but I thought if we stayed over here a little bit to the left, we would be good. So let me show you first. I got stuff all over the place here. Let me show you first how I covered the journal. So this is our cover. I love it. So what I did is I did black fabric, black and white fabric here. I did a different black and white fabric on the inside. And then I put a piece of like sari fabric with gold around the spine. Now I don't have strings on the spine, so it's not covering strings. I did a hidden spine, and I did it the way LuiseHEINZL did it, and it was my first time, so it was a little time consuming, but I absolutely love this finished edge here and the bottom. I just love it. So maybe in the future I'll show you that, because this was just the first time. And I'm getting ready to put together my, oh, sorry about that, my Colorpendium book that I got ready. And so I'm going to try it on that one as well. And if that works out, then maybe I will show it on camera. But what I was thinking was a couple things. I didn't have ribbon or anything, fabric that I thought would match this well. So I thought we could make the tie out of this. I would just grommet right here and make two ties, you know, right here, out of this kind of burgundy lace. And then I thought I would make fabric pockets to go in the front and the back right here. And so the first thing I want to do is the pockets. So what I did was, first I'm going to move this out of the way. I hope you love it. What I did first was, you know that I take cardboard like the edges of boxes, and I remove this top piece, this right here, this paper piece, when I'm making tags or something, and I'll remove this. And what it does is it makes it thinner, a little thinner, not real thin, but if you leave that on and then cover it, it makes it really heavy. So what I did is I cut two pieces, and then I removed the backing. Now this one I went ahead and glued because I wanted to check and see if the Fabri-Tac would work. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this one with Fabri-Tac. And then I thought I would sew them as well, so I don't have to put a lot of Fabri-Tac on, but I do want it to be flat. So, and I want the Fabri-Tac to be thin enough. This material, this fabric that I'm using, is just a thin cotton. So if you are not careful, the Fabri-Tac would, I'm just flattening the Fabri-Tac down the strings of it. If you're not careful, the Fabri-Tac would seep through the fabric because this fabric is so thin. So I thought I would just do this. And if you don't put a lot of glue on and you flatten it out, I used my hand, but you could use a silicone brush or something, then it doesn't seep through the fabric. And then I thought what I would do is go over to my sewing machine, and I'm going to sew around here on both of these. And then we'll come back and decide if we want to fray them or what we want to do, how we want to decorate or whatever. Actually, wouldn't this look pretty? Oh, I don't know. Maybe I need to decide that before I sew them. So let me put these aside because that would be really cool. Although, you know what would also be really pretty is gold. We could put gold leaf and okay, I'll figure that out. But the next thing I wanted to do is the topper. So I'll show you what I picked out for the topper. So the first thing is I had this graphic, and these flowers right here were very, very orange. And I needed them to match this better. And so I ended up using my markers and color pencils. And I went along and darkened all of this. And it didn't make it quite this dark, but it took that bright orange color. I mean, imagine it was like, originally it was like, they were like these, you know. So I kind of muted them with that. And I thought I really love that. And Mitzi from 307 Junk Journal sent me some die cuts, and I loved this one. So what I was trying to think was, I think I want to put black on here because we'll have our ties right here. Okay. And then I wanted to put this on it, but I thought that looked plain. So I thought, what if we put a little bit of this here, and I hope I'm in camera, and then put this on it like this. So I want to try that. So I want to cut the red and cut the black and see what we think. It may be that we might want to switch it and put the black behind here on top of this color. I don't know. But I really like the idea of the black being on the bottom. So with that in mind, let's cut. I'm going to use my cutter. I'm not used to working this side, so, oh, here, it's not even dark. Okay, so I've got the whole piece. Okay, we're good. I'm just not used to shifting this way, so I wasn't sure I was on camera. And this has to be just a very small amount, I think. I can always trim it down, but let's do it. I'll try this. And before we go any further, will that fit on the black? Yes, and the black will show. Perfect. It'll be a thin line of black. Maybe we need to go just a smidge narrower. Let me see. I could just put it down here. Duh, Tommy. Yep, I think I like that, and I think we need to go just a smidge less. Okay. I want to cut right down the middle of this little flower thing. You probably can't see it because it's such a tiny design, but I think I want to. Oh, I love that I have the new blade on there. Okay, I think I'm really liking that. So before I cut the top off, I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. This is how I work. It's like most people would probably go ahead and cut that, but I just need to glue this on. If I can find my glue stick. Oh, there it is. I'm going to glue it on because I may very well go ahead and sew this when I sew the sides as well. So let's not quite big enough. Let's do it this way. Okay. I want to put this on. And try to leave about equal margins all the way around, like that. Perfect. See, then I can see better where to cut this. Okay. And so I want to leave about there. Oh, I love it. Okay, now if we put this on here, oh, I like that a lot. Okay, what I don't know though is, do I want to leave a space at the bottom? So let's look real quick. If we put this on here, we can put it in the middle, but I was kind of thinking of putting it at the top. And then if we put our die cut at the bottom, I think I like that. So what I want to do is measure this black so it's equidistant from top and bottom. So right now from the top it is 1 inch. So if I measure it and go 1 inch from the bottom, it needs to be about maybe 7 3/4. I think it measured 8, but I'm going to go a little bit smaller. Let's do 7 3/4. Okay. I know it's a lot of back and forth, but this is how I work. Okay, I love this. Okay. So now I'm standing up, so if I'm close to the microphone, I'm very sorry. So if I put that right about in the middle, and then this die cut, the reason I liked it was it looks like it's got like patina and gold kind of on it, and I thought that was really cool, and I thought that could go right there. Love it. I think that's what we're going to do. So I think what I want to do is I want to go ahead and I'm going to glue this down, and then I'm going to sew on this black line right here just so I know it's on really well. And then I will also go ahead and figure out these, sew around these and decide if I want to put something on before I sew it or whatever. And then I will come back and we will put it all together. Okay, so the first thing I did was I sewed around this line, which I thought was black, but I think it was a dark, like greeny blue color. So I sewed around that. Then I changed my thread out to a red. And I ended up finding my clumps of thread, and I put some lace from Mitzi at 307 Junk Journals, sent me that in Happy Mail, and I put that there. And on this one, I used some of my mom's lace from my mom's wedding dress, and I did the clumps of thread in golden red. This one is in black and red, and I thought they're just a little bit different, so I thought they would be great. Then if you want to you know, you can fray the edges of these if you want. let's see what we got here going on. But I'm not going to bother doing that just yet. I'll just pull off any loose ones that are on there now. And, but they can be frayed because I left a lot of fabric there. I don't know if this side is a bound side or something. So anyways, let's get these loose ones off, and these strings I'm just going to leave because I love strings. I love fray. I love all that good stuff. So anyways, what's with these two here? Okay, got them. And these strings right here that I just pulled off, of course, will go in my thread drawer. I just throw them in this little drawer in here. Okay, I think we are ready. So let's go ahead and put our topper on, which is going to go right like this. And then, okay. Oh, here it is. Okay, so that's going to go on just like that. Well, you know what? I think I want to put the pockets on first, and then when we get done, maybe we'll put the pockets on. What I want to do is end up where I can just put a book on top of this so that this will stay down, because this is pretty heavy now, and I can put Fabri-Tac on it, but it's going to need to be weighted. So I have a much better idea. Let's put our pockets on, then we'll do a flip through, then we'll put our topper on, and that way I'll end at the top. So we just have to decide which pocket we want where, and I think I want to put this one here just because I put the triangle on the left, and if I put it on the back it would be on the inside. So we're going to just use some Fabri-Tac, and we're going to Fabri-Tac this baby down. And I'm doing a little bit on the cardboard and a little bit on the fabric. Not a lot on the fabric. Okay. And then our seam, our fold is right here where our cover closes. So I want to put it out a little bit from there. Beautiful. Then we have a little pocket right there. This needs to be held down as well. So then we'll switch sides, and we'll put this pocket right here. This journal, I'm really loving it. Pull my threads down so I don't glue those up. I'm putting Fabri-Tac on the cardboard, and then I'm going to put a line on the fabric. But from the other one, I noticed I need to flatten that line on the fabric. So, see if I can do that with my hand, just like this. And just want to stay away from our fold. And there's our bottom, so I'll put it right there. Beautiful. Okay, so I think what we'll do now is do a real quick flip through. See how much time we got. Oh, we got plenty of time, and then we'll put our topper on. So, oh, we need to put our tie on. So let's do that next. And I'm going to use eyelets. And I'm going to use gold. I could use black, I guess. Do I have black? No, I don't really have black. I have dark, but I don't have black. But I've got gold there, so I'm going to use gold. Gold's my favorite color. It is. It is really. Gold, rose gold. I love it. My whole life, all my jewelry was gold. And my sister said, you need to use silver with your skin tone. You know, silver would be better. My older sister always wore silver. And she was very dark. And the problem with that is then you have to change all your jewelry out. So I did get a bunch of silver stuff for a while, but my chain that I wear around my neck is gold. I have 2 of them that I wear constantly. My crucifix is actually about 50 years old. Oops, that's showing my age. Okay, we want to find the center, sort of. Okay, so our whole journal cover seems to be about 10 1/4. So we want to go about 5 1/8 would be about the center, which is right about here. So we're going to use our large punch, and I'm going to make sure that I go into the cardboard. I better make sure I'm on the right 5 1/8. I need to go up just a hair, about there. See, the cardboard's there, so we should be good. Right about there, we're going to put our eyelet in. Okay, and then we want to beautiful, and it looks good on this side as well. Can you see that? Let me get my other eyelet out of the way. And it looks good on the inside as well. So we want to do the back the same way. So we want to go five 1/8, which is right about here. I'm going to make a little mark there because that's right. I want to go 5 1/8, 5 1/8, and we want to go right inside the cardboard. So that's right about, I'm going to make just a mark so because I want to make sure that it matches up with the other side pretty well. Doesn't have to be perfect, but pretty well. And we want, how far in did I go? I went right close to the edge, so we should be able to go right there. Perfect. Ooh, that was way better to cut that little piece off. Oh yeah, that stuck through there too. The other one I forgot to cut that little piece off. It worked, but okay. Let's see if this one, oh, and this one worked well as well. Okay. Now we need to cut 2 pieces that will tie together. Actually, I could wrap that right around, huh? Yeah, let's do that. And if I pull it through, yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, so we want to do about 1, 2, 3. Make sure. So if that goes all the way around. Yep, and then we can tie. I just want to make sure that I'm thinking of this correctly. Yep, because I'm only going to have a single piece. I think that's good. Let's try that. If we're off, we got lots of lace, right? Okay, and this lace, we actually could probably get it through there, huh? Could we get a whole... I was kind of thinking of just running a single piece through, but let me see what happens if I pull this through. How crimped up it would be if I use the whole piece. Well, I think we could. I think we could just use the whole piece. I think it would be a lot sturdier as well. So there's one. Let's put this one through and see what we think. Okay, so that's that way. This we want to turn a couple times to get it a little flatter. There, perfect. These have to be pretty close to perfect because I'm going to put that topper on there and glue it. So, oh, I think that'll be perfect. Okay, so yeah, we're going to want to put our topper on there and glue that. So, let's go ahead and do our flip through and then we'll put the topper on. So basically, oops, got it upside down. How about that? Okay, so basically we've got our pocket here, and I may or may not add anything to this. I'm not sure, but I want those to dry. And it is 5 signatures, okay? And this spine is huge. Where's my ruler? Oh, here we go. Okay, so the whole thing measures, the cardboard part is right here, but then there's extra fabric. So with the extra fabric, it measures almost 10 inches. Without the extra fabric, it's right around 9 1/8 or something. And then widthwise, with the extra fabric, it's about 6 3/4. Without it, it's about 6 1/4. But the spine is 3 1/4. It's a big one. She's big and I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, so are we right side up? Yes. So we've got 5 signatures, and remember that I normally do 8 pages in a signature, and I did 6, I think, in these. I bound them in 2 centimeters apart. So I had 1 centimeter from the fold, 2 centimeters in between each one. No, I did 2 centimeters at the fold and 2 centimeters in between each one when I sewed them in. And it is a hidden spine. And so there's our front pocket and here's our back pocket. And we ran our lace through for a tie. So let's do a flip through real quick. Let me see if I'm on camera. Make sure. Yep, we are. Okay. So a lot of this, because we've worked on it, you've already seen. But what I did do on this card is I went through and made sure that I had stuff edged. I think I caught everything. And I added some decoration. So here on this page, just to break it up, I added some little dots here and a little, just something to break up the page so it wasn't just totally blank. But it's a page you can write on. And this is a belly band, and this has the pocket that flips out like this. And what I did is I added a couple of little journaling cards to there. And in here, just a little paper to journal on. And this would hold so much. These, if you want to journal on the back of them, you can either use a gold or a white pen, or you could put some paper on the back. Or if you don't, you could actually use them and make a little tuck for yourself on the corners. And then, you know, fill this with whatever else you would like to fill it with. This is gold lined page. This is a belly band, and then I stuck in just a piece of journaling paper in here. So it looks like this. Because I'm not familiar with the writing, I don't know. I know it goes up and down, but I don't know if that's up or if the other way's up. I'm not sure. And this is our collaged edged page. And this one was just a plain page, and I took a piece of a digital and cut her out and glued her down. And there's our center. And here's our pockets that we did, and we decorated them, our little corner pockets. And this is a journaling card. And then this is a little pad I made with some scrap papers, and I put some grommets and a bow on there. And this page, I put some washi tape here and just a little graphic here that's lined in gold, and a piece of lined paper on top of that to make it a journaling page. And this one, I just cut out this graphic and added that to the page. And in here, we already had this journaling card made, and we did these pockets together. And then I had some Asian like playing cards that were given to me, so I just stuck one of those in there. This is the digital itself, so I didn't have to decorate that at all. And in this pocket, we have this tag with a fabric topper, and then just a piece of paper for journaling. I love this journal. I love it. And these are the digitals from LuiseHEINZL, so I'll try to remember to put those in my description box, the link to these digitals. And I have other digitals throughout. Some are mine. I think I have Joey Cardmaker in here. But whatever. The main digitals are LuiseHEINZL's. And then we put a tab on here, and then I added a bull pen and a little metal that just says Simplify. And then here I added a piece of, my grandson sent me some papers and labels or whatever. And so I added a piece up here. You'll see I made a pocket, and this came off of the pocket that I cut, and then a graphic on here that I took a marker and lined it in red so it would match that page. And here, you remember on this belly band, I did some gold, and then I just put these 2 journaling cards in here. And I love how this paper turned out. Remember, I printed on the back of the digitals. Here's a flip out for journaling. And this, again, is a piece of that paper from the pocket that you'll see later on. And another, there's just a little collage piece that I wanted to break up the page. And I have one of these in each of 3 journals, or 3 signatures. And it's a belly band, but you take the paper clip off and you can unfold it and use it for journaling. And then you just put the paper clip back on the 2 top pieces, and then it's a tuck. It's a belly band. Look at this digital. Amazing. Louisa, thank you. This is from Joey Cardmaker, this paper here. And then here's just a little fold over for journaling and a journaling card. And on this page, I took a stamp. This is a Tim Holtz stamp, and it's all together actually. And I took a piece of copy dyed paper and broke it into 4s and stamped on and put them together and stamped it, but I separated them on the page. And then I've got some washi tape holding it down, but that way it turns it into a journaling page. And this is just a graphic that I put on here, but if you know me, I journal all over everything, every direction. So it's a journaling page. And here I put a piece of paper that we had, a leftover scrap, with this really pretty picture and a little piece of lace on here. And then we have a journaling card here in this pocket. And here I put a piece of washi tape that I found that's orange and gold, and then I put gold around this little graphic and put that on there. And here I put the three pictures on here, and we have 2 journaling cards in this pocket. This pocket would hold a lot more. I just put 2 cards in there. And that's the end of the 2nd signature. The 3rd signature had just this card in it, but I added these stickers on it because I thought it looked kind of plain, and I thought that was pretty cool. And this is one of the pockets where we actually used a page edge, and I love it. And here I just used a little ticket that my grandson sent me with some stickers that came in that same batch and one of my little birds, and I stamped with red on this page some script. Obviously it's not Asian script, but it was just script just to break up the page a little bit, but it's still, you can write right on there. And then this is a belly band with a folded piece of craft paper, like kind of a faux envelope, and decorated it with like an Asian stamp. And this is one of the envelopes, and I made a little disc here and used a sticker on top. And when you open it, my grandson sent me some origami paper, so I stuck a couple of sheets of that in here. Actually, there's 3 sheets in there. And then I didn't attach it because I loved the design of the envelopes. So I just used a paper clip to clip it there. And this is another fold out belly band with, this is Joey Cardmaker's paper. And I made a little fold over and put a couple sheets of paper in here. So all of this could be journaled on, and you've got a couple sheets of paper, and you could put more in there. And then if you just bend it back, that holds it closed. And again, if you take your paper clip off here, this folds out. And I did round the corners of the top piece of paper, the top piece, the fold over part. And this is just a graphic that I cut out and glued on there. And that's the center of our third signature. Here's our little corner pocket. I love this, and we mounted her on gold and put a little gold emblem on there. And we've got a journaling card and a journaling tag. And this one, I used a piece of paper just to trim that, and a graphic that I put red and black around to make it match. And this pocket just has a journaling card in here with a graphic on it. And here I put a die cut on there that I think Mitzi sent me that. I did buy a die cut, so I have one. It might be one of mine. I'm not sure. And this is our the end of our signature. So this is the back pocket, and it's got a pocket here to put a journaling card back here, and then these two little journaling tags tuck right in here. Okay, and our fourth signature, this is the envelope that we put down, and oh, we didn't put anything in here. We need to put a tag in here. I'm going to put a little post-it in here to remind myself that you can, this is a belly band. So if we had a tag, which I'll find, or a card, you can put that right in there. And I will make note to add something to there. Okay, and this right here is a fold over page that I attached with a piece of washi tape. And this is a belly band with a booklet of some scrap paper, and I put some Asian postage stamps on here. And this is a belly band, and I just added this piece of journaling paper. And then here I just added this ticket with a little tape that my grandson sent. This is all Asian writing in there. Here's a corner pocket we did. And we have a journaling card and a tag. And it says, "Silence has many beauties." Truth. And here I just cut her out of a digital and put her on there just to break up that page a little bit. I might need to get a cough drop because I keep coughing. Here's just a piece of scrap paper that I put on there with a little graphic just to break that page up a little. And here's a journaling card, "Be strong and courageous." And then my grandson sent me these as well. These were little like coin envelopes. They're larger. I put a little graphic on here because I thought the graphic that was underneath it was kind of cartoony. And it comes with a piece of folded paper that all I did was tea dye distressed it a little bit. But you could add whatever you want in there. There's plenty of space. But I thought that was kind of cool. And then this pocket here is a double pocket. So it's got pocket behind. And then this pocket on top. And then I put a tab on here with dangles that I made a while back. I think there actually was some sort of a bird on there. Not a bird, it was something on there I didn't like, so I cut this little piece of paper out and made flowers to go on those circles. just because I think it was English writing and I wanted to cover some of it up. And then our last signature. It's a pocket with a little notepad in it. And this, we decorated, this is the binding from a book that I glued down and put this little graphic on it to break up that page a little. And this belly band has these two really cute cards. And this is that paper I said I kept using little bits of it. I folded it in half and had to trim some off. But it's kind of a translucent or whatever paper. And I made a little corner pocket out of it and then put this little fold over on it. This is some of that origami paper that my grandson sent me. And then this is just a saying that I got. It was a piece of scrap that I got from Dee Dee Willingham a couple years ago. And here's another fold-out belly band with a journaling tag. And here's a corner pocket. And then we have a journaling card. And then in here, I just took this graphic right here and I folded it and put some a little heavier. This is actually book page, an old like from the 1700s. It was one of the front pages I had, so I put that in there just for journaling. Again, I added her to this page, this graphic. She's just glued, they're just cut out and glued down. And then here's our pocket with a journaling card. And there's the other part to that book spine. It's like really glue and netting type stuff that I glued on there and added a graphic. And then our pocket here just has this paper. This is from LuiseHEINZL's Colorpendium. And then this kind of Asian paper. But I didn't, this is the pocket where I didn't want to cover up her face. And here I put a piece of paper in here and cover it up. So it's a surprise. And that's the end. So we're going to go ahead and tie this up, and I'm going to go ahead and put the cover on, the topper on. Real pretty. Okay. Then we want to put our topper on. That's going to go right on here. I'm going to use Fabri-Tac all over her, and we're going to put this on. So I'm going to put this on first, and I learned so many tricks from Mitzi, but she uses her tweezers when she has die cuts like this, because you can turn them over and put your glue on, and then it's easier to put it back down. But look at this, you can just get your glue right on there if your glue comes out. You know, if your glue comes out. But I would like hold it with my fingers and it's like, oh my heck. You know, it's funny, you watch people's videos and you learn things, but you also sometimes, you're not really learning a technique, or not learning how to make something, but you're learning a technique. And that's what I'm very inspired by people, because I learn their techniques. Okay, we want to put this on here. Put it down. And then I need a piece of paper towel. I have to park my car at the end of my room because there's not a lot of room in here. I love this. And I love that. I think the other side is patterned paper, and I don't know, and it has some gold on it. So I don't know if she actually made it thinking it was going to be the patterned paper, or if this was the right side, or if the other was the right side. I have no idea. But I love this side because it had the patina and the gold. Okay, now what I need to do is put bookbinding glue or Fabri-Tac, probably Fabri-Tac, I think, all over this, and get my silicone brush because it's got to go all over it. And then we're gonna have to weight it down. But that is our Asian journal and the flip through, and I just love it. Once this dries, I'll go wherever that post-it note was, and I will figure out what I want to put in that space. I'm putting a lot of Fabri-Tac on here, a lot, because I'm going to spread it right to the edge. And I do not want this to come up at all. So I'm going to go all the way to the edge, all the way around, make sure I've got Fabri-Tac all the way to the edge of this piece. And I may run another line just to be sure. Because I don't want to take any chances with this coming up. Okay, I think we gabbed it on there, I hope. Now we got to make sure, because we closed it, what's the right side and the down side. Upside down and right side up. Okay, so this is right side up. Right here. So I'm going to stand up because I want to get it fairly even here. I know I kind of did things kind of haphazardly today, but I wanted to get it finished. And I want to thank everybody for watching. Thank you to my subscribers, past, present, and future. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. We'd love to have you join the channel. Thank you so much, everybody, for supporting my channel. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.